tonight is it's still a secret. Okay, so let me show you. I will tell you the challenge before, but after I call our first participant. Okay, so our first participant for tonight would be Gerald. So Gerald, step forward if you are here.
Yeah, hello,
Okay,
sir.
there you are. Hello, Gerald.
Hello,
Okay.
sir. Good afternoon. Good evening there in the Philippines.
Yes, good evening. Good afternoon, Gerald, and good evening for those of you guys who are here in the Philippines. All right. So here's the challenge, guys. Okay, hold on. Let me just open the image, and I will be sharing you my screen in a bit. Okay. So the challenge is I will be flashing what we call the Lexis Bank. So, sir, what is a Lexis Bank? When I say Lexis Bank, guys, it is a list of lexical resources or academic words that you can utilize on the actual examination. And the main challenge for the test takers is, of course, they haven't seen these words before. Now, they need to actually incorporate these words that I will be showing them onto their speaking examination. So it will be complete with multifarious parts of the IELTS speaking from part one to the third part. And of course, some of the questions on the third part is known to be my signature, right? When Joseph is asking the question, it is always not an easy question. All right. So, Gerald, are you ready?
Yes, sir, but I'm a bit nervous.
You can do it. Zaya said, yes, sir. It's very exciting. Okay, guys. So, let me show you the Lexi's word bank. All right. So, I'm actually zooming in right now. All right. So, Gerald, as you can see, this is the first Lexi's word bank that I'm going to be showing you guys tonight. So for those of you who are viewing our assessment, these words can actually be used on your IELTS speaking examination for you to get a good score on the speaking examination. You have to remember that a part of your grading criteria is lexical resources, which of course expects you guys to utilize advanced operational English language or the high vocab as you would like to call it. All right. So the first word for Gerald would be remuneration, which is in sense is a fee or a payment. Burgeon is development. Zealous or zealous is the act of showing consistency marked by passion. Okay? An example of this one is the students of Elite Intellect 9 are quite zealous as regards their goals to go to another country and achieve their practical dreams. Next one, guys, is Bo Ideal. When you say it's Bo Ideal, it is an ideal event or situation. Sir, hold on. Bo is French in history, right? The history of that particular word or the etiology of that particular word is French. However, guys, it is now officially adapted on the Merriam-Webster and of course the Cambridge Dictionary, so you can use it on your examination. Next word is stentorian. When you say stentorian, guys, this practically means that it is an extremely loud noise, or sometimes you can also use it to describe situations. I don't wait, Sir Jeff. Let me just read your let me read your chat, Sir Jeff. Hold on. I thought zealous means you're jealous with
Sila.
Zaya speaking. Yeah,
With
you're
Zia.
zealous. Right, technically. That's how you say zealous. Yeah, you're jealous of Zaya speaking skills. Guys, actually our last participant for tonight would be Zaya. Because I know that once I bring out Zaya, people will be afraid, right? Because this child or beautiful this beautiful creature has an amazing capacity or capability with her. All right. But of course, I have two of my best as well. I have Gerald and Kenjo. All right, so quiddity, guys. Quiddity is the essence. So you can use it for what is the quiddity of being a woman? There you go. What is the quiddity of being a nurse? What is the quiddity of moving to another country and so on? And candor is technically being honest. All right, so Gerald, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we begin. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Joseph, and I will be your examiner for today. This is the speaking part of your IELTS examination. Before we begin, could you please tell me your complete name?
My name's Gerald Timbreza Corpus. You can just call me by my first name, Gerald.
All right, good. Thank you, Gerald. Okay, hold on. I think I stopped screen sharing, guys. There you go. Okay, Gerald, so let us now proceed to the first part of your speaking examination, with which I'm going to be asking you questions based on your own preferences. Right. So for my first question, Gerald, let's talk about children. Okay? Who do you think should be in charge of the behavior of the children? Should it be the parents or the teachers?
Well, based on my idea, it should be the parents because they are the ones who knows the child itself. The 23 chromosomes that runs to the blood of the child is same as the chromosomes of the father and mother. So it is imperative that the parents should taught on how to exude good attitude and behavior. That is actually one of the criteria of being a parent. So I guess they are the mere responsible for person to teach a good attitude and behavior of the child.
All right, good. Thank you, Gerald. Okay, so let's move on to my next question. Could you please talk about a bridge which is quite interesting in your local community?
Well, there are gargantuous breeds that you can find in our local community, but is this bill, there is this bridge that I was awestruck when I saw it, and this is a small bridge connected to the city proper, going to the other barangay or other village rather in our community, which makes me flabbergasted because of the details of the engineers and the architect that put into that specific infrastructure. And I think it is paramount that the government showing this kind of project or giving this kind of project to the community because it's helped them somehow to give and of course to sell their products, the local products of the community people.
All right, good. Thank you, Gerald. All right, so for my next question, Gerald, let's talk about instances, right? When do you think is an instance wherein people's lives are actually changed?
Well, of course, there are set load of instances that our life should be transformed into another level from childhood up until we reach the age we can age wherein we will leave the world. So at a young age, of course, the puberty itself is a good transition on our life. For instance, a girl who is growing into the family in which it is a part of the life of that girl to have a of course the pubic hair that will grow to different parts of her body, and of course in a male the voice itself is a transition, of course, in which it is deeply ingrained into my memory that when I was in college I learned, or it's it is actually based on scientifically evidence-based practice, or in every books that we have this huge transition into our life that is very meaningful.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Gerald. All right, so for my last question on your part one, when you go out with friends, what kind of drinks do you usually order?
Well, actually, that is very relevant question. Since I'm working here in the Middle East and I am far or miles away from my home country, which is the Philippines, of course, whenever we have spare time, we tend to go to a coffee shop. So having said that, coffee or tea is our choice of drinks, which makes us invigorated sometimes, and of course make us relaxed because we want to get rid of the stress environment that we are working in, especially nowadays that the COVID-19 flipped our lives back and forth.
All right, good. Thank you. Okay, Gerald, so that is the end of your part one. Let us now move on to the second part of your speaking examination. All right? So I will be showing you my screen as regards to your question. So word of the day, guys, hashtag. What's the hashtag of the day, my babies? Don't mention it anymore. Okay. Hashtag public hair. Yeah, public hair. Okay, public. Okay, Gerald. So tell me if you can see my screen as regards your task two question. All right. So here I'm going
Yes,
to be
sir.
giving you 1 minute to prepare. And then after that, I'm going to be giving you 2 minutes to talk about your topic without interruption. All right. So since you have stated that you can see my question card now, I will be giving you 1 minute to prepare. And your 1 minute starts now. Okay, Gerald. So that is the end of your 1 minute preparation time. Now you have 2 minutes to talk about your topic, and your 2 minutes starts now.
There are multifarious things in our home country that the foreigners can buy, albeit I'll be particular to three that which I reckon this is a uh, good to buy whenever you visit the Philippines. And it's my jubilation that these three things are keychain, ref magnet, and of course personalized shirts. So it is popular into our country that we have these uh, three souvenirs that the foreign people must buy. It is simply because it is made with authenticity, and of course it made up with our indigenous products, which actually makes you amazed or bedazzled whenever you saw this kind of souvenirs in the Philippines. You can see this in different municipality and province of the Philippines. Of course, in my hometown itself, there are innumerable things that the tourists can bring to their hometown. So these are actually a good way, of course, of showing to the world or to the universe rather that we Filipinos are very clever when it comes to turning simple things into a bodacious one. So, of course, I want to buy this is simply because I need to patronize first the product of Filipino. So patriotism itself is a good way of showing that you are real Filipino, and you know that your remuneration, of course, is a good way to uplift the revenue of the Philippine government, which is imperative to do, especially right now that we are at the uh, brink of the economic status of the Philippines. So we
Okay, Gerald.
ourselves
Thank you.
has
Thank you. That is the end of your 2 minutes to talk. Now, thank you for showing the world and the universe rather. Okay, so let us now proceed to my follow-up questions as regards this matter. All right. So I'm going to be asking you a question that will be related to the topic here. So the question is about tourism. Okay. So apart from utilizing the social medias or internets, what are the things that people can actually use for them to promote tourism more?
well on my idea there are copious platforms that your tourism will show off to the entire world, not only in the social media, but of course by means of publication, such as newspaper and magazine, which I think now the people are more engaged when it comes to that. Most especially if you place it in a magazine, the colorful effect, which makes people enamored to the details of every tourist part of your country or simply in your municipality. So it is a way that we were going to bring what we have in our home country. So those publications can help the Philippine government, especially the Department of Tourism, to uplift the community people that of course that they have this pulchritudinous deeds of the nature.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So that is the end of your part two. Let us now move on to the third part of your speaking examination. Okay. So I will be asking you questions here, which are technically not related to the topic on your part two. So mostly the questions here will be abstract idea questions. Again, guys, when I say abstract idea questions, there are no right or wrong way to answer them. So for my question, Gerald, what do you think is much more important? People's opinion, the observation, or their suggestions?
Well, based on my humble understanding, it should be the opinion of the people, especially right now that people are more inclined when it comes to giving their opinions. For instance, in Facebook, Instagram, what more? Twitter and Snapchat. So those platforms that the people are more inclined as to regards to their opinion to the community people. Because right now, due to the proclivity of the people towards cutting edge technology is burgeoning, which I surmise it is good way to give your own thoughts or your opinion. So for instance, in the Philippines, since we are having this uncertainty with the COVID-19, it is imperative that we need to give our opinion an end to this issue. So those social media platforms are a good way to bring the opinion of the Filipino.
Okay, good. Thank you. And for your last question, do you think that the children nowadays are becoming merely too dependent on technology?
Well, definitely yes. I can attest to that, since their inclination to cutting edge technology is constantly increasing. Youngsters nowadays are more and more more and more engaged to different kinds of technology that they can use in their classroom, into their daily life, and of course, even just a way of their way of extirpating their stress, like having smartphones, tablets, or even computers in which they can play their favorite games. So their liking towards to this issue is constantly increasing. And in the future, I can say that it will more encouraging that we should teach or we should impart the technology as to regards into the curriculum. But well, however, even before we have this subject of information technology 101 when we are college, but it is good that it is marvelous rather to incorporate in every university, not only the Philippines, but to the whole world, that they need to include this kind of subject in order for the youngster to be more aware of what different technology or the cleverness of the scientists towards it that they need to inculcate into their mind. So it is all important that that the parents of the child should teach them as regards this modernization or advancement of technology.
Okay, very well, Gerald. So that is the end of your speaking examination. Yay! Let's give it up for Gerald. Okay, I think
Gosh,
I have
but
it
it's my
here.
first time to.
Yes. Is it like your first time to do your speaking with me, Gerald?
No,
I think
sir, but it's my
I'm
first
happy.
time to have this enormous, enormous,
Oh,
and enormous audience.
how's that? I actually have sound effects here, guys. Can you hear my sound effect?
Yes, sir. It is loud and clear.
Technically, good job, commendable performance, Gerald. Okay, so as you can see, guys, while Gerald is doing his speaking, I am busy typing something here. So, of course, it will not be a speaking assessment without my particular notes, guys. All right. So, okay, so here are some of the things that I have noted as regards his performance, right? Or if you have noted something, guys, please feel free to type it into our chat box. Okay. Again, we are here to help each other. Okay. So, good job, Gerald. All right. So, guys, let me introduce you to Elite Intellect's coaching sheet, right? We always use this sheet because it is much more systematic in a sense that we are going to be color coordinating the information or the data that I was able to gather from Gerald's performance earlier. So I will be actually changing accents tonight. So Gerald was the British. Later on, I will be changing into something much more deeper, especially on the third part. So Zia said, you did well, so many Lexis. Yes, technically, right? So what I do like about Gerald's performance in the first question is that he was able to state to me about the chromosomes. There are 23 chromosomes. I mean, guys, I'm a nurse myself, and I'm actually studying medicine. However, I forgot that there are 23 chromosomes. You want African American accent? Later, I will. Okay. Just as one, if you guys have noted, Gerald has actually stated the word barangay, which is something that is acceptable in the Philippines. However, it is not an English term. However, the good news about this one is he was able to correct it to the local village or the local community. Given that, if you are going to take your examination per se, do not use words like barangay, barangay chairman, these words that cannot be translated directly into English language because technically they are not counted as a part of the English world. Or if you, again, cannot avoid to say such words or in an emergency situation, you were able to say that, what you can do is you can say the word in vernacular for you to save yourself from the deduction. Okay, basically what you told your examiner is we call this in barangay in vernacular. So that is the local language. All right. And then I also asked Gerald about bridges, right? So what I do like about Gerald is that he's a person who can actually detail. Yes, we do have 97 participants tonight. Yay! Okay. So thank you guys for actually joining us. It is our pride and jubilation to be with you guys tonight here. So your Sir Jello and I are actually having this forethought. That's why we went on and followed the advice of Kenjel last night. We bought something, so Kenjel knows that. By the way, starting maybe next week or the week after that, Elite Intellect Night will be giving you guys free practice rooms on Zoom. Okay? So when we say free practice rooms on Zoom, there will be questions that will be flashed there every time you're going to be exercising. And then you will be partnered with an individual, right, on your own private Zoom room. And then you guys can actually practice there by reading the questions and the preferred answers. Also, we will be teaching you on how to score. So this is a way for us to help you guys practice the knowledge that is being imparted to you by Elite Intellect 9. So, sir, is this only for the Elite Intellect 9 students? No. This is for everybody. Okay? This is for everybody. Right? As long as you see the message, as long as you will be able to join us, of course, we will be glad to have you. So Sir Drello will be in charge of that. So we are actually ironing things out so that you guys can actually have that particular experience with Elite Intellect 9. All right? So thank you. You're very much welcome, guys. Okay. So Gerald, so humble to be a part of the wait lang. Kenjel message something. Hold on. Amazing. Thank you, Sir Clint. You're very much welcome, my dear. Okay, so what did Ken said? What did Ken say? I lost my grammar. Okay, hold on. You'll learn a lot tonight from Sir Clint. OMG, yay. Thank you, sir. Oh my God. You're welcome, guys. Okay. You know, it's always my joy to share my knowledge with you guys, especially this coming Saturday. I will be giving you guys life changing tips as regards to speaking examination. Believe me. Okay. So, first one, first Lexi of the day is paramount, right? Okay. So, paramount of great importance, germane. Very good. I do like that he has specific details. And also, when I asked Gerald about the instances, right? He says there is a set load of instances. Okay, guys, set load can actually be considered as an idiomatic expression, right? And then he was basing his answers from childhood. He was able to detail on the transition of the people. There are just some minor utterances and pubic hair was mentioned, public hair, public hair was mentioned on this particular, what do you call this, speaking. Okay, guys, technically it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with pubic hair, right? A majority of us here are nurses, okay? However, guys, some of your examiners will actually find it quite, what do you call this, vexing when you state such words as pubic hair, okay? So you can say hormonal hair, I think. Hormonal hair, I think, would be, or hormonal development hair, or unnecessary hair, or hair that was not there before. Okay, but thank you for the entertainment, Gerald. I did enjoy the public hair. Okay. There was a laughing audience. That was not me. Okay, so next one is I do like that he has a realistic scientific answer. Okay, and then drinks when you go out. So you said that since I am working here in the Middle East, when I am in my home country in the Philippines, okay, what I order is coffee or tea. Oh, coffee or tea is the things that I order. That's what you said. So are the things that I order. So there are just some minor grammatical glitches. Okay. All right. So next one, guys, is on the second part. So, sir, what does that mean? What are the four boxes there? This is by signifier that he was able to answer all the questions of the bullet. So, good news, he was able to answer all the questions of the bullet. Okay, so ready for that? Okay, so he was able to utilize the word multifarious. Okay, what else? What else are the words that we can use for multifarious? Multitudinous, an array, right? Okay, and I like that he transitioned to the other side by using the word albeit. Albeit, guys, is a good way to transition instead of saying although, right? Or however, right? You can actually use the word albeit. All right, next one is he was able to use the word jubilation. Very good. Jubilation is our favorite word since last week, I believe. And then there's one word that Gerald said. I remember because Gerald was one of my students in on the private coaching. Hold on. Brobdingnagian? Is that Brobdingnagian, Gerald?
Yes, yes, sir. Brobdingnagian.
Okay. Brobdingnagian meaning?
A huge or colossal parang ganun. It's same as
Yeah.
huge or colossal.
It's something huge or colossal. Actually, I cannot sleep because of that word, Brobdingnagian. All right, so the keychains, ref magnets, and T-shirts were the things that actually can be purchased in his home country. All right, what else? He said that it was made authentically, and of course, he was amazed or bedazzled with this one. Guys, just be careful when you are describing two, what do you call this? Two particular descriptions. Be careful that they are not similar with each other. Amazed, bedazzled, enthralled. These are basically, technically, utterly, totally the same. Okay? So I would want you guys to think of something or another word that would be way far from that particular thing. Now, tendency to speak on the second person view. Again, guys, for my students or for my past students who are here, I know that you guys know that I am very much allergic on the second person view. Sir, I do not understand. What is your problem with the second person view? And what is the second person view? When we say second person view, guys, the person is saying you to the examiner. Guys, you have to remember you should not be pointing at your examiner on that particular day. Rather, you should be considering this as your public speaking, right? When we say public speaking, there is more than one listener. Okay. Mm, beware. Once I get bored, guys, I will unmute somebody's microphone and then I will talk to them. Yeah. Sir Jeff knows this. That's my Socratic method is that once I get bored, I unmute somebody's microphone and then I interview them like real quick, right? There's no way to learn. We need to apply it. Oh, by the way, guys, have you noticed my background today? Yeah. Thank you for our sponsors here. Okay. It is actually faux fur. I'm wearing white to signify purity, cleanliness. So you may call me purification corpus. All right. So bodacious, right? Sir Jeff, I think you heard this as what was that? Bongacious? What was the thing that you typed earlier? Bongacious. Yeah. Bodacious, yeah. Not me. Bonga. Okay. So what else? Copious. Guys, What is your observation on Gerald's performance? To sum it all up, what is your main observation on Gerald's performance? Is Gerald perfect when it comes to his grammar? I can guarantee that he is not. However, why is Gerald sounding smart, credible, and confident? Amazing. Lexis. There you go. Thank you, Elite. Pia. Right? He is quite commendable when it comes to his vocabulary. Okay, hold on. All right. So he is actually quite commendable when it comes to his vocabulary. Gerald can actually use these types of lexical words. The thing that others are afraid of doing is utilizing these particular lexical resources. Okay. So later on, I'll share to you guys a story of a student of mine. Okay. All right. So he can detail and the structure is good. He was able to use the word enamored and he can with detail as well. He used the word pulchritudinous. What do you mean by pulchritudinous? Joseph is pulchritudinous. Thank you. Thank you, Pia. The meaning of pulchritudinous is beautiful, displaying beauty. Okay, guys, there are many forms of beauty. Okay, don't judge me. I'm kidding. Now, for task 3, opinion, observation, or suggestion. Look at this particular question, guys. It is actually asking you one particular choice, right? And opinion and observation are almost technically the same, right? So this is actually something that they do on the IELTS speaking examination is they ask you words that can crack you up on the examination to make you panic and the like. Right. So the good news is he was able to utilize opinion, right? Or some people would choose suggestion, right? But the tip that I can give you guys when it comes to this one is if you're given a choice or choices, right? You need to choose just one. Okay? Again, the question is which is better, right? It is not asking which are these better. So you have to make sure that you choose one. All right. So I do like that he talked about the relevance, as well as, of course, he was able to use the word proclivity, thoughts and opinions, uncertainty, and of course, there was a difficulty in closing on this particular part, right? Okay. So, my God, Sir Joseph, you're so harsh. No, guys, we have to be harsh with you guys so that you will be able to get your target score on the speaking exam. I am known for my signature to not sugarcoat everything. I'm kidding. I'm sweet. Don't worry. All right. So for the next one, guys, the children becoming too dependent with technology, actually. So I do like that Gerald was able to paraphrase kids or children to the word youngsters. What else? Way of extirpating, he can actually detail on this particular one. He talked about the future and of course teach and impart and inculcate to their mind these particular things. However, guys, look, if you're going to look deeply on Gerald's performance here, teach, impart, and inculcate are technically, utterly, totally the same.
This thing. This thing.
Right? So be careful with this one, guys. Okay? On the examination, word choices matters. Okay, I concur better make mistakes now. Yeah, well, hold on, wait. We have a message from Zaya. I concur better make mistakes now than during the exam proper. Correct. Right. That's what I always tell my students when we do the private coaching at Elite Intellect 9. Sir, I'm afraid that you're going to judge me. I'm afraid to commit mistakes. No. Commit your mistakes while I'm here. Okay, I want all the mistakes that you can actually do. Actually, I don't tell my students do your best. I tell them to do their worst, right? So that I know how to correct. I know how to be able to assist them. I know how to be able to give them the things that can equip them on the actual examination. So good job. All right. So am I going to score this one? All right. So realistically speaking, of course, we will be scoring your classmates. Oh, there's already a score. No, this is a draft, guys. All right. So for Gerald's score, my recommendation is, of course, be careful with the views. Okay. Be careful with the views, especially the second person view. Be careful with word flow, as I would like to say. When you say word flow, guys, I do have this error before when I was reviewing for the IELTS way back 1982. What I do is I tend to describe things with same words over and over, but with different vocabulary. So my mentor said, no, that is actually hindering your word flow. So be careful with the word flow. However, the Lexis of Gerald is actually quite commendable. I cannot even fathom the way that he has utilized these Lexis. So Gerald, good job. You did mama proud. Okay, so let's score. For fluency and content, that is deserving of that. For pronunciation, there are some minor pronunciation mistakes. However, they are somewhat forgivable. There you go. However, for word flow and grammar, guys, unfortunately, it became a 6.0. But what saved Gerald's score today? What saved Gerald's score today? It is his vocabulary, his lexical resources. If you're going to count his lexis, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My God. Right? More than 15, I think, of lexis. Gerald is now, and these lexis were utilized properly. Gerald is actually deserving to get a score of that in his lexis. Now, guys, if you're going to total this one, 7 plus 7 plus 6 plus 9 divided by 4, what is Gerald's final score? Oh, it's rhyming. What is Gerald's final score? I know you're computing too. It is 7. It did actually compensate. So, good job, Gerald, for getting a 7.0 on your speaking examination, and good job on the lexical resources. Let's give Gerald a round of applause, guys.
Thank you, Sir
Okay, so
Joseph.
you're very welcome, my dear. I'm so proud of you, Ante. Okay, you call me
It's all of
tomorrow.
you. That's why I learned. That's it's all of you. That's why I learned a enormous lexical resources, because every now and then you are obliging us, not only me, to have this out of the world word. I think that we need to incorporate into our IELTS speaking exam. It is somehow I feel so nervous during my uh, performance here, because I'm not into have this huge audience in Zoom. So it's my first time to have a 96 people, as if I'm competing into Miss Universe because we have 96 audience here. So thank you so much, and I'm grateful that I did very well.
Okay, good. So I'm actually very proud of your improvement. I can still remember the first session. All right, so
Yes.
intermission. Thank you, Gerald. So good job on that particular performance. All right. So guys, I think AB asked, how can we improve the vocabulary, right? Improving your vocabulary, guys, it does not happen overnight, believe me. It is not something that happens when you sleep, when you wake up tomorrow, you'll have good vocabulary. It is actually, you need to practice those words every time that you are speaking for you to be comfortable with them. Not just one time, not just 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Nope. You have to practice them every single time that you are speaking. All right. So, are we ready for the next participant?